Okay, time for a new video. Whether you're a subscriber to my channel or somebody new, thank you very much for checking this video out. Apologies if the quality isn't that great. This is a video I'm filming on a complete whim, ladies and gentlemen. Right now it's the afternoon of the day of the grand final of the 66th edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, which will take place tonight at the Palaolimpico in Turin in Italy. Now, the reason I'm filming this video, and it's going to be a short one that probably won't stay online for very long, I just want to make that clear, is because I was thinking tonight when I'm filming my reaction to the results coming in, there's probably going to be things that I want to say, but then I end up not saying them. So that's why this video is now being birthed into existence, if you see what I mean, because I want to just cover a few bits and pieces so I don't have to worry about forgetting them or, mentioning them later on tonight. So, really, I've been not really spending too much time online today, and I really don't want to spend too much time online this evening if I can help it, because it's just, excuse me, it's just going to be very messy. People's opinions flying backwards and forwards. It's a bit overwhelming, so staying offline I think is absolutely the right thing to do until Sunday perhaps. I've got some newspapers here. I'm in England, and obviously the press are focusing a little bit on Eurovision today, and I thought that I would tell you what some newspapers are saying, because this might be of interest to you, particularly if you are from outside Britain. Now, this newspaper here, where is the article? As you can see, I'm so well prepared, ladies and gentlemen. It's just incredible. Here we are. So this article here, and I should say pretty much everybody, every member of the press, every journalist, whatever it is, thinks that this evening's show is a waste of time because Ukraine are winning by a mile. It says here, from a war zone to Eurovision, never has a winner been so certain. And then, what does it say here? Just the interviewer talking to somebody here. I did have a comment, I think it was on my most recent video, and I've seen a few other comments online as well, from people saying that the band, Kalish Orchestra, only ever seemed to talk about how it would boost the morale of the country if they won. And that's absolutely true, it would. But yeah, they do seem to mention that quite a lot. Obviously, if Ukraine won, it would not be in Ukraine next year. I highly doubt it. It also seems as though in terms of the wackier entries, the emphasis is on Norway. As for Sam Ryder, in this particular newspaper, Britons will be pinning their hopes on Sam Ryder, the 22nd of 25 acts to perform, to bring home the trophy, or at least spare us the humiliation of finishing with 0 points. Not many people seem to be focusing on the fact that he has gone down a storm in Turin and is one of the favourites to win, absolutely. There's also a column by Jamala, the last Ukrainian winner. As I write this piece, I'm feeling quite strange. That's because in this very moment Ukraine is bleeding. No matter what I'm doing, my thoughts are there with millions of Ukrainians suffering because of the war. Eurovision is not perfect, but who cares when it makes people feel so connected? I will never stop working hard to get more help for my country. Eurovision is a perfect opportunity to gain this support. Now you see, myself reading that now, that comes across as, I hope we get some sympathy coming our way. And as much as the song was one of the favourites to win anyway, and it's a good song, and fine if it wins, I've got no problem with it, but you just know so many comments online, so many newspapers and what have you, they will be banging on about the fact that it's a political related victory, a sympathy driven win. So anyway, that's one newspaper. Let's see what it says in here. This is an interview with Sam. What does it say here? Blah 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 blah. He has more than 12 million followers on TikTok. Says how he started singing in his garden shed. There is a stigma that exists in the UK about Europe not liking us, he says. I believe so strongly that that is just a negative cycle, looped in our heads until it becomes your truth. It's like moaning about the weather all the time. Maybe we can switch that narrative. The guy makes you want to punch the air. I haven't, this is the reporter saying now, I haven't actually mentioned Ryder's singing yet, although let's face it, that's quite a way down the list of priorities at Eurovision. He has a lovely voice, capable of moving between falsetto wail, bluesy holler, and testifying soulfulness. My main criticism when I saw him live was a lack of memorable original material, but Spaceman bucks that trend. Faintly quirky and ultimately epic power ballad that you can imagine being belted out at the O2 or accompanying a John Lewis Christmas advertisement. Then there's talk about the songwriting team. You would certainly expect Ryder to outscore poor James Newman. At the time of writing, the bookies have him as the second favourite to win after Ukraine. Which brings me to one important way in which he is not the ideal Eurovision candidate in 2022. He's not Ukrainian. Would he rather win or come second to the country that almost everyone would love to see prevail? Sam says he stands in solidarity with Ukraine, whatever happens on the night. Unsurprisingly, Ryder has little time for those who see Eurovision as a graveyard for credibility. If there are any young artists reading this, pay no attention to anyone that tells you things like that. Anytime someone says, I wouldn't do that, it's not very cool, I promise you there is a scrap heap of broken dreams, people that never got to where they wanted because they listened to people putting fears and doubts in their mind. He has more TikTok followers than the entire population of Sweden. I mean, that does put him at a little bit of an advantage, perhaps. Oh, his girlfriend's name is Lois, which also happens to be my mother's name. What do you know? Ryder promises again he doesn't mind whether he wins. And now, the Times, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you'll love this one. You'll love this. Subwoofer, there they are. Now, they've given Stefania a 9 out of 10, saying it combines your country's folk traditions with bad boy rap, and that Ukraine should and will win. Spaceman has an 8 out of 10, calling Sam Ryder's falsetto comical, bringing nonsensical words about dreaming of being in space while wanting to be back on Earth. Norway's entry has a 1 out of 10, a one-joke song that isn't even funny, by people in face coverings doing a dance routine contrived to take off on TikTok, essentially a copy of What Does the Fox Say? Iceland's entry is a disappointment after Dari Freyr, 2 out of 10, no real tune to speak of. Portugal's entry has a 5 out of 10. The song is really boring, but it has a sweet sentiment. A good one for dozing off to. 3 songs in and you're already having a snooze, dear me. Greece, 6 out of 10. A belter of the kind that cannot be performed without a hand clasped to the chest, and a few tears squeezed out to accompany the feverish climax. France's entry, 7 out of 10. Pounding electronic beats you can imagine French teenagers losing themselves to in a field somewhere outside Rennes. Rave energy. Italy's entry, 8 out of 10. Calling Maneskin glam metal delinquents, by the way. It's a mournful but romantic ode. Sweden's entry is a perfectly tasteful bit of torch song-styled Schlager, 6 out of 10. And then Spain. This is the favourite down the Euro disco. A gloriously trashy, flamenco-flavoured slice of high camp pop. There you go. There's also another article here just saying that cheerful tunes are likely to find favour again, and that songs from this year's contest will probably do quite well in the UK charts next week. Having studied positive musical qualities of a song, such as tempo and chord sequences rather than lyrics, blah 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 blah. Anyway, I don't have every newspaper here, or every online article written by British journalists. But there you go. I just wanted to film a very brief video here, giving you a taste of what people, journalists and what have you, are saying about the contest this year on the day of the competition. I still think Ukraine will win, but I'm hoping it's not a runaway win whatsoever. It should be close. The UK will be up there with the juries, maybe not with the public. Spain should be up there with the public, but not necessarily with the juries. Greece and the Netherlands should be up there, but let's be honest, Moldova are probably winning the public vote. Dear, dear me. Dear, dear me. Anyway, tonight I'm going to be very calm, because what's the point of getting worked up? I've watched Eurovision long enough to know that you should not get carried away. If the UK win the jury vote by a fairly comfortable margin, I might start to get a bit carried away. But believe me, I will be as calm as possible, watching the absolute ridiculousness of it all pouring from my TV screen. And then, of course, we'll be getting the semi-final results too at some point. There'll be low marks, a lot of low marks. And if there's a lot of low marks, we know that some countries have run away with it. And, yeah, not much more to say. All being well, I'll be back this evening for a bumper video on my channel reacting to the results. I actually have loads of flags. I have flags for all of the big 5 countries, but I think I'll just have the UK's flag this evening, cheering on our lad Sam Ryder, because why not? He's a good ambassador. Until next time, which will be later on today, take care of yourselves, stay safe. Like I said, this video might not stay up online for too long, but thank you very much if you've watched it anyway. Take care, ciao for now.